Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I do have a Chille video for you today. Surprise, surprise, I'm doing Chille. It's quite a comical video. I would think Chille gets what he deserves. The police officer just ignores him, and he has and throws a toddler tantrum as usual. Hope you enjoy the video. So what we have here is another traffic stop. Chille is notorious for ending up at a traffic stop because, you know, he spends his entire life listening to a police scanner. And as usual, he puts himself in the middle of something that is none of his damn business. And anybody who gets pulled over by the police, I know I've been pulled over a couple times for speeding. You're embarrassed as it is. The last thing you want is some dummy like Chille recording your entire traffic stop. You're already embarrassed. Now you're going to be all over YouTube. You're going to be even more embarrassed. On top of that, you've got this moron yelling at the police because he's just Chille.
I wonder why he pulled her over.
You wonder why he pulled her over? I don't know, Chille. It's really none of your damn business why he pulled her over. The only people's business this belongs to is the officer and the person driving the vehicle that got pulled over.
Pulled over so quick. Why'd the cop pull you over? Why'd he pull you over? Why'd he pull you over?
Chille, would you leave society alone? Nobody wants to be spoken to by you. Nobody wants to be bothered by you. Nobody wants to be harassed by you. Just because you have no freaking life to speak of doesn't mean you have to put yourself in everybody else's business. Nobody wants to sit there and be questioned by you. You're not saving them. You're not protecting them. You're doing this for yourself and yourself only. Leave this person alone. Oh my God, I feel sorry for everybody who gets pulled over and Chille ends up right there in your traffic stop. I literally feel sorry for all of these people. Past, present, and future.
Yeah, he went cruising down this road at like 100 miles an hour. I saw him turn his lights on and come down this road at like 100. Yeah, he flipped a Yui, or I don't think I was flipped a U-turn. He just came down this road. I mean, he was flying down this road to get you.
So is Chille now a human radar? Can Chille just look at a car now and know exactly the speed that they were going? I mean, since when did he gain that gift?
I mean, yeah, he was driving fast, which is how I noticed him. And I was like, what's he doing? So I always just make it a habit to record police.
Chille, you didn't notice him because he was driving fast. You noticed him because you heard it over the police scanner and you followed them to the location where he pulled this woman over. That's how you knew about it. That's how you saw him. Or you were just driving by and you saw his lights and said, oh, goody, another cop I can harass and insult. And look stupid doing so.
I appreciate that. So I was in California and I told him that I just got the train home. I didn't know where I was going.
Right. And he gave Arizona cops, they're terrible. They're terrible. I'm from California as well.
They're terrible because they arrested Chille and made him look like the little bitch boy he is. That's the only reason why he hates Las Vegas or anybody, any cop in the state of Nevada. He hates them because, well, he thought he was being a big shot and he can do and say whatever the hell he wanted. And, well, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department put him in his place where he belongs, in handcuffs, in the back of a vehicle, straight off to county jail. That's why he doesn't like the police there. Actually, he doesn't like the police in any state because he seems to rack up warrants in every state. Like people collect souvenirs when they happen to visit a different state. You may buy a mug that says Arizona, California, Ohio. But Chille, he collects warrants. Other people collect refrigerator magnets that have the name of the state that they just visited. Chille, however, he collects warrants that have the name of the state of wherever he just broke the law.
Oh, and what they do is they target, because I got pulled over here last time I was here, which is what started, this whole thing I'm doing now, as far as like making sure I always record Arizona cops, because
Chille, no, wrong, no, oh no. You started doing this well before that. And the only reason why you do it is because you think it gives you the right to harass police officers. It really doesn't. The only reason you hate police is because they would not let you join their organization for whatever reason. I have literally joked and said it's because he failed the mental exam. I don't know if he did. I have no documentation on that. I'm going to guess that's why. That and he wasn't man enough to be a police officer. But this has nothing to do with him being pulled over in Nevada. Most of his hatred for police came from his own arrest when he thought that, hey, breaking the law should be legal in his mind. And that's why he hates the police, because they have arrested him and they've made him, I was going to say accountable for his crimes, but he still to this day isn't even taking accountability for his crimes. He's just blaming everyone else except the one person that's to blame, and that's himself. So he's just going to sit here and lie to this woman. Have you noticed, seems like a trend for Chille, but has anybody else noticed that when he stops at a traffic stop, it happens to always be a female? I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. It's not usually a male. It's more than likely going to be a female if he stops. Once in a while it's a male, more than likely always a female.
They're just so terrible. Like, the amount of danger that he provided chasing you was incredible. I mean, you should have seen him whip through cars at 100 miles an hour to chase you down.
I saw him coming from like that, and I had a pretty bad over here. I don't know why. And he said, "Oh, listen, you think you're 35 or 40."
So he went 100 miles an hour to catch you for doing 40?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he literally went 100 miles.
Okay. Oh, God. This is Chille math. Chille obviously never understood how math works, but if somebody's going 40 miles an hour and you go 100 miles an hour to catch up with them, you're literally going to pass them, not get right on their tail. If somebody's going 40 miles an hour and you are going 100 miles an hour, you are going to whip right past them. And you're not going to be able to slow down that quickly once they do slow down. Because they were going 40 while you were going 100. Again, this is Chille math, so it makes no sense at all. So if she was going 40, that tells all of us with common sense that the cop was also going 40. He could have been going 45. I'm going to give him the leeway of even possibly going 50, depending on how far away he was before he caught up with her. But there is no way in hell this cop went 100 miles an hour to pull over somebody going 40 miles an hour. And if you're speeding and a cop sees you, then yeah, you're going to get pulled over. There's one way to avoid being pulled over. One, make sure you know where the police are hiding behind trees or whatever, or slow down where you know that there could be a police officer there, or just don't speed. I'm not going to say altogether don't speed. I'm guilty of speeding. I've learned where all the speed traps are. So I make it a point to slow down to the speed limit before I hit that speed trap. And trust me, where I live, it's nothing but a speed trap through this whole town. You learn where they sit. They don't change it up. They literally sit in the same place every freaking day at the exact same time, without fail. But again, to the point, there is no way She was going 40, and he was going 100 to catch up with her. Oh, Chille.
He's going so far fast down this road. I was like, holy shit, he's going fast. That's why I turned around to record him to see what he was doing.
Evening.
How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, Cal.
Officer, can I give you some advice? Never make eye contact with the idiot on the side of the road with 2 phones in his hands. Although it looks like he only has 1 phone because he's not filming himself at the same time this time. So, thankfully, we don't have to look at his face. I'm not saying he's going to turn the camera on himself at some point in this video. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm watching it with you guys brand new. But do not make eye contact with Chille. Because if you do, you have just screwed yourself royally.
You gonna give her a ticket? You gonna let her go? Are you gonna give her a ticket or let her go?
Well, see, here's the thing, Chille. You're not her. So he doesn't have to tell you a damn thing. Because technically it's none of your business unless she wants you to know, and she lets you know after it happens. But because the cop isn't going to give him that information, he's automatically become a tyrant. And Chille's going to go off. We all know it. It's what he does. And he doesn't get... This doesn't go away. He's not even lessening the way he is. He's getting worse. Every single day he gets worse and worse and worse.
He said he'll be more than happy to talk to me in a second. Sounds great. I'd love to hear what he has to say.
Okay, so I think I figured Chille out now. Because nobody will talk to him in real life unless they're being forced to, he goes to these traffic stops or he hunts down police officers because he knows that they have to talk to him. They have to interact. If he puts himself in the middle of an investigation or a traffic stop, then they have to literally converse with him. I mean, if he didn't get the cops to talk to him, like inserting himself in places he shouldn't be, then nobody would talk to him in life unless he went online. But in real life, nobody wants anything to do with him. So he has to force people to talk to him. And, well, the police have to. It's sad. I feel bad for police. Any police officer that has to deal with Chille, I honestly, my heart goes out to them.
Couple of minutes, huh?
Is he whining because the cop hasn't come and spoken to him yet? He said a couple of minutes. You're not important. You are irrelevant to this police officer. His traffic stop is his priority. It doesn't matter how long it takes for him to finish this traffic stop. You're going to have to wait. If you don't want to wait, move the fuck along.
You were just driving down this road, that's what you said? Yeah. I mean, he was going pretty fast to chase you. And I'm going to the gym, but I was like, I mean, maybe he's in hot pursuit of a real criminal. You're doing 5 miles an hour? Is that what he just told you, 5 miles an hour?
I want to prove because he didn't have a gun.
Oh, did you ask him to see the radar detector?
No. Because he said that I was
Chille, she doesn't give a shit if you're going to the gym or not. And I call bullshit on the gym. Have you not noticed? He is just not looking good lately at all. And if he was just heading to the gym, he would have never stopped. Well, never mind. He stops to record the police anyways, just so he can have an argument with somebody. So scratch what I was just about to say. But come on, Chille. She don't care that you're going to the gym. You probably weren't even going to the gym. You were probably going to go into another neighborhood which I won't announce why you've been in neighborhoods lately. Not just yet. It will come out, just not in this video.
He went out, you're 40 and a 35, he said 40, but he did 100 to catch you. Yeah.
No, Chille, he did not do 100 miles an hour to catch somebody going 40 miles an hour.
Do you have that on a radar gun? Is that 100%?
Yeah, I stopped it, and I left the gas. Like, I stopped the brake, but I was probably going
That is not it's the California plates, baby.
It is.
You are evil, California.
It has nothing to do with the plates. She was speeding. She was I don't know how fast she was going, but 5 miles over the speed limit, I don't know. I don't buy that. I know there's some cops that will pull you over for going 5 miles over, but more than likely, they just let that one go. If you're going over 5 miles over the speed limit, then yeah, you have a higher chance of being pulled over for speeding. But each city limit is different. I mean, they may be more strict on going over the speed limit than most other areas. I know where I live, if you're going 5 miles over, you damn well will get pulled over. They don't play in this town. You can go 1, 2 to 3 miles over, but once you hit over that 3 mile over, they're going to pull you over. So I'm not sure. It could be a city thing for them, or it could just be the police officer doesn't want to see you going 5 miles over. Either way, he had the right to pull her over because she was going over the speed limit. But he wasn't going 100 miles an hour.
And I see like, oh, where are you going? Oh, you navigating GPS, right? I told that I was lost. And he's like, oh, you have a GPS, you got lost?
Listen, repeat after me. I don't answer any questions. It's the only response. There's no other response.
Oh, God. Do not give her freaking advice. Lady, I know she'll never see this video, but seriously, if you want to go to jail, then do everything Chille tells you to do. If you want to stay out of jail, ignore this idiot at all costs.
To a cop. I don't answer any questions. It's the only thing you ever... Look, I'm a constitutional scholar. This is what I do for a living. But when a cop asks you a question...
You're not a constitutional scholar. You're not a constitutional law scholar. You're not a lawyer. You're not even an actor. You are a nobody who is out here lying and scamming everybody you come in contact with. There's a reason why the Las Vegas Metro Police Department is going to the courts to press charges on you for practicing law without a license and for claiming that you are a constitutional law scholar. You're an idiot. You know nothing about the law. You have no clue what you're talking about when it comes to case law. Everything is just about you. It's about hyping up the video so that you can take more money from the people who follow you. That's all it is. The well under 200,000 subscribers who follow you.
Where are you going? You say, I'm not answering any questions. That's how you respond. It's no choice because look what happened. You said, where are you going? You said, I'm lost. And then he started the back and forth with the, right? Started with the bullshit, right? As soon as you answer a question, it gives him ground to be suspicious of you. And once he's suspicious of you, he can invoke what's called the Carroll Doctrine from 1925. Invoke what's called the Carroll Doctrine from 1925, which he can then search your car based on his suspicion of how you answered the questions. I'm not joking.
Okay, let's just clear this up really quick. Answering questions when you're pulled over in a traffic stop is not going to cause the police officer to be suspicious. However, not answering questions and not complying is going to make a cop suspicious of you because, well, you're not answering questions. That's suspicious. The Carroll Doctrine of 1925. Let's take a look at that. And let's see if Chille's right in what he just said. Chille trying to recite case law. That's literally like trying to revive and bring back to life a squirrel that was just run over by 100 vehicles. The Carroll versus United States doctrine of 1925 reads, it gives the owner of an automobile or other vehicle seized under Section 26, in absence of probable cause, a right to have restored to him the automobile. It protects him under the Weeks and Amos cases from use of the liquor as evidence against him, and it subjects the officer making the seizures to damages. So what Chille is saying is that by her answering the police officer's questions, it makes her then suspicious. And then they can use the Carroll doctrine. However, there was probable cause to pull her over. She was speeding. Checks that one off. And 2, they haven't seized her vehicle. And even if they do seize it by towing it, because for, let's say she has a warrant, okay? And they have to arrest her. Well, they had probable cause to pull her over. Then they had probable cause to arrest her. Therefore, they can have the car towed. Still doesn't fall under Carroll versus United States 1925. Chille, stop throwing out case law that you have no understanding of what it is. It's just like Terry versus Ohio. You have no clue what Terry versus Ohio means, yet you are so determined to overturn it. How do you overturn something you don't understand? How do you keep throwing out case law that you don't understand? This is one big reason I hope that the Las Vegas Metro Police Department is successful in charging Chille with practicing law without a license. Because that is exactly what he's doing right now. He is giving this woman legal advice, and he's not even an attorney.
I'm not joking. The Carroll doctrine is a fancy way to say tyranny.
No, he's not joking. The problem is he's not right.
A way to circumvent your rights. So if you answer any question, you're suspicious. Whether you look him in the eyes, don't look him in the eyes, whether you breathing heavy, whether you're too calm, there's no question you're going to answer that's not going to lead him to say he's suspicious of you now. So
that is 100% wrong, Chille.
Say, where are you going? You say, where are you going? I'm not answering any of your questions. You have to be, you got to practice it when you drive. You got to drive down the road, get pulled over. I'm not answering any. Watch the Pop Brothers. They got a 25-word script. The Pop Brothers at law. Pop Brothers. Yeah, they got a 25-word script.
Well, if Chille agrees with this script, this 25-word script, then I would definitely not read it and use it if I'm pulled over, because basically it's going to just mirror everything Chille just said, and everything Chille is advising you will probably get you arrested.
You can never engage with these guys, ever. Engagement equals you're suspicious. And suspicion is from Terry versus Ohio. That's overturned Terry, that's what my sweatshirt says.
Chille, this has nothing to do with Terry versus Ohio. This is a legit traffic stop. Nothing to do with Terry versus Ohio. Not even 0.001% does this have anything to do with Terry versus Ohio.
Yeah, the Pop Brothers of Law, they have a 26-word script. Pop Bros at Law. And they have, I don't follow that script because that's not what my purpose is in life. But if you don't know how to talk to cops and you don't want to deal with the BS of, how did I go? Where are you going? You said, I don't know, I'm lost. And then
Wait, he says he doesn't follow their 26-word. Sorry, cat hair in my mouth. if he says he doesn't follow it, but he agrees with it, and he does basically what's in it, then obviously he follows it. That makes no sense, Chille. And you really, at this point, don't have a purpose in life. I mean, you probably do. I am fully a believer that every single human alive has a purpose in life. The problem is, Chille has either yet not found that, or he found it a long time ago and chose to ignore it. Because, trust me, what Chille's doing right here is not a purpose in life. There is no purpose to it other than attention and money for Chille.
Fiddle with your GPS and start this back and forth with some dude you don't know. It's like getting hit on the train and you're not interested, and they just keep on questioning. If you answer, where are you, dude you don't know? It's like getting hit on the train and you're not interested, and they just keep on questioning. If you answer, where are you from? I mean, I used to be pretty brutal. I used to say I'm going over to your mom's house.
Used to be brutal? Used to? Chille, you are the most vile human being I've ever met in my life. I haven't even met you, but okay. You are the most vile human being I've ever seen in my life. And then that stupid, freaking, creepy-ass laugh after he says, well, I used to say I'm gonna go to your mom's house. And then he does that creepy-ass laugh. Lady, at that point, that is your 50th clue to stop engaging with this idiot. If only you knew he was a professional stalker who has several protection orders against him. And he is sitting here bringing up stuff like, oh, he could be hitting on you. Like, this creepy guy on the side of the road could be hitting on you. And I used to say stuff like, I'm going to your mom's house. At that point, you should literally disengage, roll up the window, and pretend he does not exist. It is the safest thing for you to do.
I seen him like far, like speeding.
Yeah, I saw it. He's only going to give her a warning. That's nice. That's nice. Thanks for scaring the hell out of me.
Aw, so he's not a tyrant like you were just about to yell at him about. Is he? No. I guess this literally disproves everything you say about police officers.
100 miles an hour behind me.
Questions, comments, concerns?
He said he would talk as soon as he was done, so let's see if he talks.
Oh my gosh. This poor officer.
Lawz.
He said she was lost. He was a real nice guy.
Good night. That's it.
Hey, you said you would answer a question. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You need law enforcement service, sir?
Yeah, well, I saw you driving, and I was like, boy, you must be chasing a hardened criminal.
Officer, he does not need law enforcement assistance. What he needs is mental assistance. He needs a mental hospital, and he needs it fast.
Because you were going like 100 miles an hour. I saw you. I was like right behind you.
I went to 100 miles an hour. You have yourself a good night.
I was? That was really, really polite. Can I get your name and badge number, officer?
Have a good night, sir.
No name and badge number. Okay. No name and badge number. He decided not to give me a name and badge number. That's against the rules.
Show me where there's a federal law that states that police officers have to identify anything to you if you are not involved in the incident. You can't, Chille, because there is no federal law that states police officers have to ID themselves to anyone not involved in the incident. They don't have to ID themselves to you at all unless they are the issue is with you, or the investigation is with you, or the traffic stop, or the arrest. That is when they have to ID. And even if they have it in the policy that they should ID, does not mean they legally have to ID to some moron who thinks he's somebody standing on the side of the road because he has no freaking life, and he's recording because he's hoping that this cop is going to give him the reaction he's looking for. He doesn't owe you shit, Chille.
You're supposed to give me your name and badge number.
Nope.
You're supposed to give me your name and badge number.
Nope.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Nope.
I thought you were supposed to give me your name. I thought that was your policy.
What the fuck, Chille?
I thought that was your policy. I thought you guys had to give your name and badge number by policy.
Chille, stop being so desperate for attention. Really. He doesn't have to give you his ID. He is under no obligation whatsoever legally to give you an ID. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what desperation looks like. Chille. Desperation. This is why you don't become a person like Chille, because nobody will want anything to do with you. And then you're going to have to go out and find reasons to have anybody even speak in your direction. And usually it's not a good interaction, like where Chille goes after police just so he can get somebody, anybody, to engage with him.
I thought that was your policy. Isn't that your policy? Officer, I thought that was your policy number. I thought that was your policy number. Isn't it your policy?
Oh my God.
Officer, it's your policy to give your name and badge number. You're violating policy. Goes against your badge. You're supposed to. Have you heard of the federal badge ID identification law from 2019?
Okay, Chille, since again you don't understand law, let's go over the Badge Transparency Act of 2020. It was actually of 2020. The bill came out in 2019. It became effective in 2020. Chille says that there is a Federal Badge Act of 2019 that requires all law enforcement to ID. All. HR 7711 is to require the display of certain identification for certain law enforcement officers and for other purposes. In general, no later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this section, the head of each federal law enforcement agency shall implement a policy requiring that a federal law enforcement officer in uniform or plainclothes employed by a federal law enforcement agency make visible the following identification while on duty or serving the public as a federal law enforcement officer: the first and last name of such federal law enforcement officer, the name of the federal law enforcement agency, and the federal law enforcement officer is employed. We get it. 2. Not later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this section, the head of each federal law enforcement agency shall implement a policy with respect to the enforcement of the policy under subsection A. Let's look at definitions, since Chille's a dumbass. Federal law enforcement officer. The term federal law enforcement officer means a federal employee. So now that we have the Badge Transparency Act of 2020 out of the way, let's learn what a federal law enforcement officer is. There are basically 3 types of law enforcement agencies: local, state, and federal. Local law enforcement agencies include police and sheriff's departments, which would be who he is speaking to in this video: a local police officer. State agencies include the state or highway patrol, and federal agencies include the FBI and the U.S. Secret Service. The act that Chille is vomiting out of his mouth, that again he doesn't understand because he doesn't understand anything that has to do with law, states this is only for federal law enforcement, not city and not state, federal only. So again, Chille, You might want to look shit up and learn how to comprehend it before you start throwing these things out as your so-called facts. Because all you're doing is making yourself look incredibly stupid. This is why that officer is just completely ignoring you. Because you are stupid.
2019. You're supposed to give me your name and badge number. You're violating your... Hey, I'm going to turn you in. You don't understand. You see my shirt? This is what I do. You're supposed to give me your name.
Okay, so Chille claims he is the alpha of all alpha males. Oh, but he's going to tattle on an officer who won't verbally give him his name and badge number because he doesn't legally have to give him that because he wasn't part of this traffic stop or any other investigation. But Chille got his feelings hurt now because the cop wouldn't give him the reaction he was wanting, and he ignored him. Like, well, everybody should. And now his little feelings are hurt, and he looks like the beta bitch he is. So he's pissed off. And he's going to continue harassing this poor cop over this ID Transparency Act that literally has nothing to do with this police officer. I didn't pay attention well enough whether he was sheriff or city. Either way, he's not a federal officer, so yeah, he doesn't fall under that act. But Chille is so in his feelings at this point that he's acting like a 2-year-old that was told no. And Chille wants to be 1, considered a man, and 2, considered an alpha? Oh, hell no, Chille. Sorry, boo. Ain't happening today.
Badge number. You're not supposed to not give me your name and badge number. You're supposed to give me your name and badge number. Officer, a little bit of courtesy with the public. I thought you were going to be respectful. Officer, can I get your name and badge number?
He was respectful, Chille. He told you to have a nice day. He's told you he wasn't going to engage with you. You're lucky he just didn't look you in the face and say, fuck off. He was respectful. Get over it.
Please. Can I please have your name and badge number?
I'm going to take this as a big fat nope.
Can I please have your name and badge number? Thank you so much, officer. Can I please get your name and badge number?
Okay. Oh, you're free to go. Sorry, but I got
Have you heard of the... Have you heard of the federal badge ID law? Officer, have you heard of the federal badge ID law? I'll turn you...
Good night, sir.
If you don't give me your name and badge number, I'm going to file a complaint against you. I'm not joking.
Okay, I love this cop. Absolutely think that somebody who lives in that area who can identify this cop needs to buy him a damn coffee or a beer or something. Because he has definitely earned it.
Okay. Have it your way, dude. Have it your way.
Oh, he was highway patrol, so he's state. Still not federal officer, Chille. So your whole temper tantrum right there still warrants nothing. You're still wrong. He's highway patrol. He owes you jack shit. And yes, have it your way. Oh, man. I absolutely adore this police officer. He is amazing. This is how all police need to treat Chille. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Las Vegas Metro Police Department has already reached out to the Highway Patrol and has reached out to the Sheriff's Department and told them, if you end up running in to this complete idiotic moron who likes to stand on the side of the road and harass police officers, ignore him. Say, have a nice day and move on. I wouldn't be surprised if that bulletin hasn't already been shared. It would be nice if all police did that. I mean, they literally need to share that bulletin with every police department in this country. But baby steps.
Once again, what do we see? What did we see? That he doesn't have to...
What did we see? We saw Chille trying to insert himself into something that was none of his damn business. We saw Chille giving a woman who was pulled over bad legal advice. And we saw Chille throw a toddler tantrum because he was told no, basically, without even hearing the word no. That is what we saw. Whatever comes out of Chille's mouth that we supposedly saw did not happen. I mean, he was actually there. We just watched the video, and we could tell that whatever he's about to say didn't really happen.
Follow the rules. He can act like a total jerk. Like a total jerk. He can act like a total jerk. Did you guys see that? I'm going to file a complaint against him. You can't do that. I knocked on his window. I gave him every opportunity to follow the rules. He didn't follow.
No, you didn't. You acted like a spoiled, petulant little baby bitch boy and demanded something that the officer did not owe you. That's what you did. What's with all the cuts, by the way? I mean, and there's his repetitive wording again. He's trying to jam it into his followers' heads because that's how he manipulates all of them. That is his manipulation tactic. Repeat everything over and over and over again until that's what they hear every time they close their eyes and it's quiet around them. They hear Chille's voice repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Rules. If I don't follow the rules, what happens to me? I go to a dungeon.
Does Chille not yet understand that dungeons were pretty much done away with a long freaking time ago? Nobody goes to a dungeon. You may go to jail. You may end up in a solitary room or cell. You may end up in a drunk tank. But you're not going to end up in a dungeon. Come on. Does he still believe there's dragons around too? I would love that if there was, but yeah, no, they don't exist anymore. And before everybody starts jumping down my throat, yes, I do believe dragons existed at one time. That's just my opinion. Anyways, that was Chille being Chille, harassing police, acting like a child, throwing a temper tantrum because he was told no, and he got in his feelings. It's a normal night for Chille, a normal day for Chille. And he's still not accomplishing a damn thing. He thinks he is. Somehow he thinks he's accomplishing something. He's accomplishing nothing but getting himself in deeper and deeper and deeper trouble. Because now, on top of everything else he's dealing with in court, which, again, he's too beta to even show up for. But on top of that, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department is trying to get the courts to press charges on Chille for practicing law without a license. And from what I hear, possibly press charges for continuously saying he is a constitutional law scholar without the degree to back that up. And he's just going to keep doing it because in his mind, he thinks that's what he is. He didn't study law for 20 years, constitutional law, any law, for 20 years. 20 years ago, he tried to read the law, got bored of it 5 minutes later because he couldn't comprehend it, and then spent the next 20 years doing fuck all. But he sure as hell didn't study constitutional law for 20 years. He's not an expert on Terry versus Ohio as he claims to be. The only thing Chille is an expert in is being a complete and utter embarrassment to the human race. That's it. I used to kind of feel sorry for Chille. I thought, well, maybe he's just slow. Maybe there's something that stopped working up there a long time ago. But no. This is him. He chooses to do this because he's able to squeeze more and more money out of his subscribers the more ridiculous he gets. I'm going to remind people why I focus so much on Chille and less on the other frauditors. The reason why is because out of all the frauditors, Chille is the most dangerous. Chille is the one who is most likely going to end up getting somebody hurt or unalived. Whether it be a police officer, one of his subscribers who thinks that they can just take up arms in the name of the Chille and go out and do something stupid. And then there's the possibility of Chille getting hurt or unalived by a police officer. He is dangerous to society. This is why I go after him. This is why I, in my honest opinion, believe he should not have a voice on social media. Look at cults. Look at any cult. Jim Jones. He had people so convinced that he was who he said he was, that all the way up until the very end, he didn't just have adults pew-pewing at ATF, FBI, and local law enforcement, but children as well. Or Jim Jones. I'm thinking of David Koresh on there. Okay, let's say David Koresh first. He had all those people so convinced of who he was that he not only had adults, but he also had children take up arms for him. And all those lives were lost. Then you've got Jim Jones. Same thing. Had everybody convinced he was someone he was not. All the way up to the bitter end. Where he convinced parents of children to give their children poisoned Kool-Aid to unalive their own children and then unalive themselves. And yet he still took the cowardly way out. When he saw his own followers suffering the way they did in such pain and agony before their last breath, he took the coward way out and used a pew-pew. Chille is that coward. Chille is that wannabe cult leader. And every one of those cult leaders that I just spoke of, David Koresh, Jim Jones, and there's several more, every one of them demanded financial support from their followers. With Jim Jones and David Koresh, both, if you were joining his team and their quote-unquote family, you had to give up everything in your life. Sell your home, sell your cars, get rid of everything. And where was all that money going? It was handed to him. David Koresh. It was also handed to Jim Jones. For what? Because they're attention seekers who cannot live life without having to manipulate people into doing everything he wants. That's where Chille's going towards. He's not there yet. And I literally would hate to see him get to that point. Because he's taking innocent people down with him. And they are innocent. Okay, let's not totally lash out at his followers. Yes, none of them are using what God gave them. You know, that the most amazing thing that we all have, and it's a brain. None of them are using it the way it should be used. There are people who are easily manipulated in life. And then there are people who can think for themselves. I am so grateful to be on that side where I can think for myself. But Chille is pushing his way to that cult leader position. And then once he establishes that cult leader position, he will have the power to command any of those followers to do any of his bidding. all the way to the last bitter end. And I sure as hell do not want to see people lose their lives because of selfish, ignorant pieces of shit like Chille and David Koresh and Jim Jones. That's why I'm still going after Chille. And I just wanted to make that clear one more time, because there's so many people who are saying Chille's not worth covering anymore. Chille doesn't have any good content. People covering Chille are just grasping at straws. No, we're not. We are continuing to put him out there to warn as many people as possible to stay away from him. If you value your life and your freedom, stay away from Chille. Don't listen to anything he says. And I really hope that this judge in Las Vegas doesn't put him in jail. And before everybody goes off on me for that and starts getting mad, let me explain why I don't want to see the judge sentence him to jail time. Because he would be more helped if he was sentenced for mental help. And the judge can make that happen. He needs severe mental help. And the judge can actually sentence him to even a year in a mental hospital. And I would rather see that happen than see him go to jail. Because Chille going to jail is not going to stop him. It's not going to make him stop. It's not going to make him lessen what he's doing. It's going to make him worse. Because he's going to be locked up with a buttload of men who hate police because they're in jail. And that's only going to fuel Chille's ego. That's all it's going to do. So yes, that's why I would rather see him go to a mental hospital. If you agree with me, yes, great. If you don't, I'm sorry that I'm not saying what you would want to hear. But my main concern is what he's doing to innocent people. And I have no clue why the tornado alarm is going off right now, but I'm going to go ahead and end it here because I don't know what's going on. Anyways, sorry I rambled so long after this video. It's been so long since I put out a video that, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to say more. And again, put my stance on why I'm still covering Chille. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one and in my next live. Take care. Be safe. I love each and every one of you.